Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. And through this channel, I'll be providing some stock analysis and also an update on our $1 Million Challenge, so please stay tuned. In the previous video, we did a stock update on ticker symbol MMAT, looking at potential squeeze. We also looked at an audio interview with George, where he also talked about a squeeze, so details in the previous video, so please refer back to that video for details of that. Before we start today's stock analysis, quick update on our $1 Million Challenge. This is a journey from an investment of $1,000 to $1 million over a period of 3 years. For anybody who does not know, we're looking to invest in 201 trades with an average return of around about 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, it's 201 trades with an average return of 3.5% and looking at compound return investing. So again, further details in the description below, but in the Discord community we have a special spreadsheet which has got specially chosen stocks for the challenge. In the Discord community it's now exceeded 300 and we have people who are sharing tips, due diligence, technical analysis, chart analysis. We also now have a very popular squeeze channel where we look at squeeze stocks, and these are now taken into account for the challenge as well in a new strategy that is available in the Discord. So details in description below for our $1 Million Challenge. If you want to join that, please click on the description below. Today's video is a stock update on ticker symbol ABML, soon to be ABTC. So those of you who've been following the channel will know that this is a stock that I have featured on numerous occasions. Today's video is going to be looking at all the catalysts and all the rumours, and it's also in response to Corey Scottstein. So I'm going to give a shout out to Corey here who reached out to me. Corey is also the author of the very bullish article on Seeking Alpha that you may have seen recently, and just on the screen here, this is message from Corey. He said, "You should do a YouTube video covering my analysis of ABML as I have seen you cover it in the past." So thanks for reaching out there, Corey. So happy to do that, and I'm also going to add on some additional rumours and potential catalysts for the stock in addition to what Corey covered in his very bullish analysis on Seeking Alpha. Before we start the analysis, I'd like to quickly share with you Corey's profile. You will know why this is important later on in the video, but quickly, Corey is a portfolio manager of Scottstein Capital Partners, a large family office. He's also a real estate developer. He's a managing partner of Scottstein Real Estate Group. His portfolio consists of real estate holdings, direct investment positions, private investment in public equity deals, as well as open market positions through the strategy of trend trading, and he's been a member since 2012, so very good, strong credentials there. Let's start by having a look at the article in question. The key headline at the top there is American Battery Metals Corporation misunderstood, overlooked and ready to run. So in terms of the key catalysts from a summary point of view, we're looking at price prediction, we're looking at construction, we're looking at potential partners, we're looking at the infrastructure bill and the impact of that, and we're also looking at Nasdaq Uplisting. So let's start by looking at catalyst number one. So catalyst number one is the status on pilot plant construction. So in June, City of Fernley did give unanimous approval for American Battery Metals to build a 100,000 square foot facility very, very close to the Tesla Gigafactory. Construction has not yet started. As soon as that starts and we get confirmation of that, I do expect significant positive momentum in the share price. So this is the first important catalyst that all investors are now currently waiting for. Catalyst number two is potential partnership with Ford, GM and Chrysler. So a key operative word here is being potential. So that means it's not officially confirmed, but let's just have a look at the rumours here and where the news came from. So on August the 18th, the ABTC CFO, David Corso, announced that the company's technology has been affirmed and chosen as a partner for Ford, GM and Chrysler. So basically what we're saying is Corso went on to say in the question and answer section of the presentation that discussion with GM, Ford and Chrysler, we could be a partner, we could be a vendor. They could be a customer for us. The relationship will evolve. So this is a very, very good sign. So again, just to remind everybody, the details of these partnerships have not been released or not been confirmed. So this is a potential catalyst for the future, possibly for the near future. And again, should have a tremendously positive effect on the share price once we get confirmation of this. So the next catalyst is revenue. So this is quite a contentious catalyst, and you'll find out shortly why that is the case. But the article here starts off by saying, with regard to a previous Seeking Alpha article, which was anonymous at the time, we're going to find out who the author was shortly, but the previous anonymous author said in the previous Seeking Alpha article that the revenue is only projected to be $16 million. So Corey disagrees with this. I do agree with Corey. So Corey has sort of has stated that this is certainly not in line with what the management have said. This is not in line with the actual projections for the business going forward. The actual projections for the pilot plant are 20,000 tons, 160 million, and not 16 million. So let's now have a look at how this led to quite a significant debate within the comments. Let's have a quick look at the snapshot of this debate. So Corey has actually identified the previous author of the Seeking Alpha article. So the previous author was going by the name of Sunset Analysis. We're going to have a look at his profile shortly, but let's have a look at the comment here from Corey. What Corey has said is that you conveniently removed a zero. So instead of it being $160 million projected revenue, you stated it as $60 million revenue. So that is absurd. That is wildly unreasonable for a company, and the projection of $8,000 per metric ton is, I think, is very, very low or conservative. So the actual realistic figure he's talking about is $10,000 per metric is obtainable. Revenue could even be closer to $200 million annual on the pilot facility alone once it is at full production. So he's also said you made a mistake. Your bullet point says the company's projected revenue of only $16 million. So certainly it's a very, very strong allegation here. I also think it's factually correct. So I think Sunset Analysis, by stating that the company are saying the revenue is 16 million projected, is definitely factually incorrect. So at the bottom here, Sunset Analysis has responded, and he says, I understand you are repeating management numbers, and perhaps that is the best that you have, but I would be greatly appreciative to see a third-party source or calculation that can substantiate them. So I did not conveniently miss out a zero. Rather, I ran my own numbers based on a third-party source linked below. Others peg it much lower. So I think what we can clearly see is that Sunset Analysis is clearly a bear. He's negative on the company. Let's have a look at his credentials. Let's look at the profile for Sunset Analysis, and the first thing he said, I am an individual investor. So basically he's just a Joe Blogs off the street, and he's in my opinion possibly working for a short, possibly working for a hedge. His whole previous article was based on possibly driving the stock price down. People do make money from driving the price down. That's certainly what has happened with American Battery Metals, and he's gone on to say, I try to share other interesting investment ideas with investors where I think there is significant mispricing or potential for growth more. So let's continue now to see what happened in the comments between Sunset Analysis and Corey. Okay, so moving on here at the top, we have Sunset Analysis response again, in continuing with the thread. He said, you need to totally reword your article. You also, in terms of how it was written, you talk about at current prices. So he's using current prices of today for projections of the future. So that certainly is going to be factually wrong. So Sunset Analysis has responded by saying, I agree that you are confident in your projections. If so, I read what is in terms of what is actually wrong. I'd like to know, but I also want to know where it's coming from. Please provide reliable sources. And then I'm just going to look at the final part of the debate here. Corey did respond with some reliable sources. He's attached evidence from Statistica, from marketinsider.com, And he's also said that in terms of allegations, you're using the analogy of a company, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, whatever. You can't take a company's reported projection revenue and then slash it by 10 by just removing a zero. So very, very good and valid point there. But Corey has gone on a stage further here. He's accused Sunset Analysis of libel. So again, very strong analysis here. This is in public domain, so that's one of the reasons why I'm sharing it with you. He's also said, don't you have a brokerage account with futures market trading, question mark, look up current prices. So again, what this implying that Sunset Analysis, he's already said, I'm just an individual investor. So as an individual investor, a Joe Blogs on the street, he's not even aware of current market prices. So no credibility in Sunset Analysis whatsoever. The next potential catalyst I'd like to focus on in terms of the article is the headline here, infrastructure winner. So we're all aware that the Biden government recently announced a multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure bill. So if American Battery Metals can take advantage of this and receive some funding, then this will be great news for the business. Certainly in terms of the relationship with the US Department of Energy, there is evidence of a previous relationship there, so that's a good sign. So if they receive some funding from this infrastructure bill, again, this could be a huge catalyst. The next catalyst that I'd like to focus on is recycling systems. So the key thing that we can see here is there is a comparison with American Battery Metals and the nearest competitor. I think the strongest competitor we can see here is Li-Cycle. So the key advantage that Li-Cycle has is in terms of the stage that they are. So American Battery Metals is currently on pilot stage. Li-Cycle are on pilot to commercial stage. Recovery rate, both of them are on 90%, but where American Battery Metals has a key advantage and unique selling point is on the dual track direct extraction. So they have a faster process in terms of feedstock material being much more profitable. They also have low environmental impact and low acid consumption. So this is a significant advantage. Once American Battery Metals is in operation with the revenue generation, this is going to give them a huge edge. And the next catalyst, which I think everybody is aware of, and that is the appointment of Ryan Melsert as the CEO. Many investors were not happy with the way Doug was handling things. Doug has now resigned. So this is great news. We can also take confidence with Melsert having just in excess of 12 million shares in the business as well. So it is in his interest to make everything a success. His background, his expertise, and his recognition from Tesla and his experience in this EV sector and battery recycling sector is second to none. The next catalyst that we're also aware of is Nasdaq Uplisting. Once this happens, the projection that Corey has said is he expects the price to go to a minimum $3 per share, and it will, in terms of trading, for this to trade consecutively for over 5 days at least $3 per share. So we've recently seen the price hover around about $1.40, $1.30, strong support around $1.20. Once Nasdaq uplisting happens, which I expect to happen in the near short term, I think we can expect a price to have support around the $3 mark. So I do agree with this projection. What I would now like to do in terms of the equation is to throw in some rumours, and in the stock market we have a saying, and that is buy the rumour, sell the news. So let's have a look at some rumours. So rumour number one is here from a post by Scott Jolkover, who is the Chief Resource Officer at American Battery Technology Company, and what he's done, he's tagged John McDonald, who is a senior designer at Far West Engineering, and he said in the comment here, foot by foot, processed water is coming to TRIC. So again, very strong suggestion that construction is imminent. The next rumour I'd like to share with you is with regard to a video. So in this video, Ryan himself was at a presentation, and in this presentation he was talking about a potential partnership with BASF. So there was also a Nobel Prize winner there, Stan Whittingham, and he, in terms of the presentation, what was stated was that they are going to announce results soon. So in terms of the video, we're very strong rumour and very strong suggestion with an announcement that there will be news coming shortly. Let's now have a look at a quick screen grab from this presentation that was leaked. So the headline on the presentation slide here is Global Competition to Identify Best Lithium-Ion Battery Recycling Technology, and there's also a line here which is quite difficult to read, but I'll summarize it for you. It says, over 100 applicants, ABML selected as the sole winner of battery recycling portion of circularity challenge. And again, on the left hand side we have the logo of BASF. The next thing I'd like to share with you in terms of a rumour is a potential grant from USCAR. So in terms of a report, we're going to look at a report here from the United States Advanced Battery Consortium. So within this report we can identify in red at the bottom potential partners, potential customers here in terms of American Battery Metals. So the suggestion here could be partnerships or customers with Ford, with General Motors. So let's summarize some of the key things in here in terms of this potential USCAR grant. And what it's summarizing here is that R&D approach for this subcontract is to develop an advanced lithium-ion cell with a meaningful portion of active materials reclaimed and reused from end-of-life hybrid electric vehicle cells. So this certainly is a very strong suggestion of some technology that would only be suitable for American Battery Metals. So although American Battery Metals has not been identified by name in terms of the actual requirement of recycling and using end-of-life batteries, that certainly fits in very, very nicely with American Battery Metals. So very, very strong rumour here, very strong potential partnerships here. So again, in terms of a rumour, once this materialises into fact, then potential investors in the stock will be chasing. What I'd now like to do is delve a little bit deeper into this potential USCAR grant with a breakdown, and also look at a potential connection with MAGNIS IM3NY. So on the screen here we can see that MAGNIS, ticker symbol MNSEF, they own 60% of IM3NY. This is a privately held startup working on exclusive first of a kind battery technology designed by C4. So that's four C's and a V at the end. So IM3NY is connected to both Stan Whittingham and Ryan Melsert. So the key person here that we're interested in is Ryan Melsert. So Ryan worked at Tesla, as we all know, at the same time as the CEO of IM3NY, which was Chaitanya Sharma. Stan Whittingham is on the board of MAGNIS and also a mentor to Chalice Opreti, CEO of C4V and chairman of IM3NY. So again, we're reading between the lines here. We're working out a potential connection. It's a strong rumour, and in terms of some of the people that I've spoke to, there is certainly a lot of bullish belief in this. So it's not official, it's not confirmed, but it's a very, very strong rumour. And finally, in terms of the potential grant size from USCAR, so the previous grant was around about $7.5 million. However, with regard to American Battery Metals and the technology infrastructure bill that could pump huge amounts of money into the business, this could be potentially much, much larger. So it involves BASF. We've seen in the presentation the logo of BASF when Ryan was presenting. We also saw American Battery Metals identified, and there are very, very few companies and consortiums that could actually dismantle, recycle, and build brand new batteries for testing other than American Battery Metals. Let's now finish off by looking at a price projection and conclusion. So going back to the article, so the article has referred to CNBC's John Najarian, who has quoted a price target of between $6 and $8 on the stock, with commencement of construction on the pilot plant being inevitable. So looking further down in terms of revenue, expecting to exceed $160 million. Potentially 2023 revenue is going to generate around about $960 million. So the prediction here from Corey at the end is he's looking at a modest 10x 2023 potential, roughly around about $10 a share. So I do agree with that. I certainly think it could be much more than $10 a share in 2023. My personal prediction is in 2023 we're looking at $15 plus per share, and I think that's being conservative. And finally, in terms of risk, there's always a risk in investing in terms of penny stocks such as American Battery Metals. It is volatile. It's not yet on Nasdaq listing. It's still trading as an OTC, so you have to be trading very carefully if you're a new investor. There are also negative rumours with regard to a potential deal with Tesla, so I personally don't read too much into that. I still think there is potential for a deal with Tesla in the future because the EV sector is going to be huge. The demand for recycling is going to be huge, so certainly don't rule out any connection there with Tesla, but we've seen enough connections here going forward to keep the business busy in terms of generating revenue. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.